Hello, you beautiful frequency holders. I am going to be reading the frequencies and the energies that are present for us and transmitting a message from the beings of light who love us unconditionally, and through our cosmic channels, receiving these frequencies and strategies for moving through this time, space, and place that we are navigating this coming week. There are new stargates opening up. This is the theme that has come through really clearly. And if you come into your internal space, you will feel these frequencies. They're unusual new frequencies that we are not accustomed to. These frequencies are accessing new star systems and new technologies and information that we haven't had access to before. And this was a real revelation to me when this information started channeling through this morning. So I'm super excited to share this time space with you all and to transmit this download of information that is going to be incredibly helpful in helping us navigate this portal. And the Equinox portal is now open. And the configuration of the stars are aligning to give us access to more of our own intrinsic knowledge. And so we have the ability to access these new star systems that haven't been accessible from the Earth plane for eons, ancient technologies that haven't been accessible to us for eons. And we are now maturing at a level where we can be cognizant and responsible with these new frequencies and with this ancient wisdom, this knowledge that we have the ability to access when we are in a frequency transmission and state that is high enough to match and put a key in, unlock these portals of resonance. So we're accessing these stargates through our chakra system, just really simple, running through the chakra system in our bodies and coming into real accord and simplistic alignment with the here now moment present for us all, so that we can use the chakras to draw our attention to which of the chakras is the portal that's opening up for each of us individually. So to do that, super simple, coming into this present now moment, arriving and landing in the physical form, in the body temple complex, and asking to be shown which of the chakras is calling your attention, which is illuminating itself into your present awareness, which of the chakras has a spotlight on it, and then simply intending, seeing, and accessing your transpersonal senses, your frequency intel that's intrinsic to you, opening the door of the particular chakra that's illuminating and spotlighting itself for you, walking through that doorway and immersing yourself, saturating yourself in that frequency field of the 0 point field of all divine intelligence, and opening to receive the wisdom that is being called to for you individually, that is asking to inform you of what is present in your now moment that will support, guide, direct, and enrich you with the frequencies that are present in your holographic field. So I'm going to go into the energy that is really present in this period of time that we're entering. There's a wobble happening in the matrix. And that wobble can feel really discombobulating if we are not present in our now moment, which is the only moment that has any impact in our ability to crystallize into form that which is most aligned for us individually as the I am that we are. So there's a collective matrix and there is a personal matrix. So both are being repatterned at this time, the collective matrix and the personal matrix of ourselves, our holographic field. Matrix simply means a weaving together of the particles and waves that make up totality. It holds all of the resonance and information that is informing our collective experience and our personal experience. So in this repatterning, the only place that we have any power to create from is in our personal holographic matrix. The collective matrix is made up of each individual's personal holographic matrix. So when we are working in our personal matrix, we are influencing the collective matrix. This is quantum entanglement. This is the principle of quantum entanglement. What I do in my personal matrix field informs the collective matrix field. So how do we do this? How do we work with our personal matrix? By and through our attention and awareness to what we focus on. So using your focusing ability, your power to concentrate and focus without allowing the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind to dictate and drive your choices, actions, behaviors through your personal programming and your personality complex, including the masks that we wear, the personas that we have crafted to navigate the field of awareness of the earth plane. When we focalize and focus like a laser our intention to operate from our superconscious self, our soul matrix, our monad, our most illuminated, activated, enlivened, enriched, aware, conscious self, then we are empowered to craft the frequency that we desire to realize our potential experience from and through. So you can think of the wobble or the action of the wobble as the collective wobble is like a house of cards. So when you're building a house of cards, you have to be very cautious and careful. And when you adjust the house of cards, the operation of collapse is ever present. So that is the collective matrix. That is what is happening right now. The collective matrix, or the house of cards that we have collectively created over the last millennia, the last eons, through the principle of the patriarchal structures that we have created from, is now collapsing because it's no longer sustainable to move forward with those patriarchal structures of top-down structures where the top win and the bottom serve. That is no longer viable way for humanity, the species of humanity, to continue to create. That has been played out to its maximum, fullest potential. And here we are in the experience that we have crafted and created. And now we are choosing as a collective species to create in new ways. And we're being supported by the holographic field of all that is, including the beings of light who love us unconditionally, and the creator matrix that created the hologram of play, the game that we are inside of playing out. So they are now in support of our crafting a new reality, a new paradigm, a new golden age of humanity's species complex, raising its frequency into the vibration of limitless love. That is where we're going, where we are creating from the egalitarian complex of knowing that there is reverence and value in all life, and that all life is designed, created to contribute to the whole, and that each individual unique person, I am presence, is uniquely designed to contribute in a very specific way. That is part of totality. So the cosmology, the makeup of the personal matrix is what we want to focus our attention, our awareness, and our creation potential, which is the language of technology, how we speak, how we verbalize the intention behind the sound complex of the frequency that we are wielding as our paintbrush on the canvas of life. That is what language is. It's a frequency, translation of frequency into physical form. And so when we are in our personal matrix, that personal matrix I like to see or visualize. This was the visualization that came through when I was downloading all of this information, is the play of logos, right? When we use Legos to play, as opposed to cards to create a house of cards, we use Legos to create a house of Legos. It is infinitely adjustable. It does not collapse as we create with it. We can extract things that no longer serve, pieces of the Lego, colors that don't serve any longer, frequency, intel, colors, same thing. We can extract from the construction, the architecture of what we're building, and replace with new, more appropriate, more affirmed, more aligned colors, shapes, frequency, all the same thing. What we are creating and crafting and architecting now. So we are deconstructing and reconstructing, but there is not a collapse of the system in the personal matrix. That is the difference. So when we are focalized and working in our personal matrix, we are exponentially powerful, potent creators of reality, because we are the I am complex of all it is. We are fractals of the divine 0-point field. We are fractals of the superconscious mind. So in the recreation, in the wobble of the matrix of our personal field, uncertainty, the thought form of uncertainty can feel destabilizing. That's the wobble. But we can repattern the frequency of the wobble to feel more aligned with us than the solidified frequency of sameness. So this is super important for all of us to realize that as we are working with our matrix, our hologram, we can choose to pattern what we are focusing our attention on, rather than destabilizing, as restabilizing. This is restabilizing me into a new dimension, into a new level of consciousness that I want to be playing in now. So we can choose to align with our I know rather than I believe or I choose. When we focus the intention into I know, it shifts our creation from manifestation into crystallization mindset. So we're shifting from manifestation mindset. That's I believe, I want, I intend, and we are shifting into crystallization mindset, where we utilize the frequency of I know. I know I am, fill in the blank. So that is the most empowering way that we can approach what we are being gifted with this week, these portals that are opening new star systems of information. I can't stress that enough, how magnificent and wholly divine this access is that we are being gifted the ability to move into and play in right now. So thank you, creator beings who designed this holographic field of the earth grid that we are playing on to give us more access to the potentials of our true nature as beings of light, as beings of love. And so I want to address one thing or speak into one thing that will help shift this awareness from this wobble feeling destabilizing to this wobble feeling potential field. And that is just briefly speaking into the frequency of fear on the planet. So fear has two forms on this planet: illusory fear and authentic fear. Illusory fear is fear that has no basis in fact, no basis in reality for informing our awareness in any given moment. Authentic fear is fear that has a reason to exist in our field. For instance, you are traveling in your car through a stoplight and you all of a sudden feel a fear response in your body, even though it doesn't visually present that you should be afraid, but you have that fear response. So you authentically step on the brakes. And because you felt into this authentic fear response and trusted it, you stepped on the brake just in time to avoid a collision by a car that was running the red light coming the opposite direction. This is authentic fear. When you are connected so wholly, completely to your intuitive knowing, to your channel of light, to your conscious connection to the divine matrix of all that is, to truth, to divine truth, and you listen to that instinctual knowing and you act upon it, that is alignment with authentic fear. When you go into a fear response that has no basis in reality, and it is simply coming from your mind, I should be afraid of XYZ because I saw this thing on the news and they said this thing is happening. That is illusory fear that has been fed to you, and you can feel the difference in the frequency. So I could speak into this topic all day long, but I'm not going to go into that any more deeply. But I do want to go into the strategies of how we can work with the energies that are present for us this week. And so through the principle of quantum entanglement, we go into the knowing of ourselves as we are all connected. How do we understand this? One family, one tribe, one self, one source mind, one consciousness, one 0-point field, that we are all connected through the web of totality. This is the principle of quantum entanglement. That what I do here affects the molecules on the other side of the world. The butterfly effect. This is a known principle that we can all work with to embody and stabilize our energy fields so that we are empowered rather than disempowered by believing that we are separate, that we are alone, that we are insignificant. This is the false field of awareness that we've been living in, that we are separate through these veils of forgetting that we are all one, that we are connected to the stars, that we are connected to the frequencies of the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, to the frequencies of the planet, of the earth, of the elementals, of the air, the fire, the water, the ether, that we are all part of the same complex. So there is the beautiful action of going into the ability to quantum leap. So when we holographically quantum leap into our chosen paradigm, we are saying yes to choosing the frequency that we live in, because the frequency that we choose to live in dictates the reality that is outpictured in front of us, that we experience on an every now moment basis. So personal and conscious responsibility for your frequency is the name of the game. That is what we need to focus on to align our frequency with the highest vibrational timeline that is available to us in each now moment. This is non-negotiable for those of us who want to create a reality that we desire to live in. Non-negotiable intention to live in the highest vibrational timeline available to us in each now moment, the only moment that exists. And so saturating yourself in the Godhead frequency of radical, limitless, absolute love, gratitude, and appreciation, this is what raises our frequency to the highest vibrational timeline available to us in each now moment. When you go into that space of saturating in divine love, saturating in divine gratitude, saturating in the frequencies of radical acceptance, radical self-acceptance, radical limitless knowing of yourself as absolute love, choosing to live your most fulfilled, abundant, radically aligned, creative expression and agape now, in this moment. Now, I choose this now. I know that I am living my most aligned and beautifully, radically creative self-expression in this now moment, choosing to walk in the frequencies of self-compassion, of liberation, and agape, the highest form of love that is available, the frequency of knowing that all love is all there is. Now, choosing it now. That is how we quantum jump into new parallel realities of expression of our true nature in alignment with our fullest potentials now. So how can we do this? One of the strategies that is really present, especially this week of the equinox and the new moon, starting the calendrical cycle of the astrological calendar over in the beautiful frequency of the power of Aries, at 0 degrees Aries, is gathering in groups of like-minded beings and practicing this devotion of self-love and resplendent service to the awakening of humanity, and moving through that intention in groups, gathering virtually, personally, and cosmically, however you want to do that. But gathering in groups amplifies the field. This is through again, the principle of quantum entanglement, which is coming through so crystal clear for us to begin to understand, embody, embrace, and work with. So gathering in groups, you hear it as the expression of where there are two or more gathered in the name of love, the field automatically, exponentially resonates and entrains to the highest vibration in the universe, which is that beautiful sensation of agape, of love, of reverence for all life, of oneness, of celebration, of open-hearted awareness, where we are not contracted, where we're not in fear, illusory fear, where we are in the field of potential of all that is. So Through this quantum entanglement, we are facilitating the amplification of the frequency field of the individual by entraining to the collective credence of selective alignment to the universal truth of knowing the I am, that I am pure unified love. So vibrating your personal and thus the collective group frequency through resonance and entrainment to the golden age of humanity's expression of the species' most opulent, maximized potentials of egalitarian liberation of our native, essential, distinguished soul expression in contribution to totality. This is why we're here, and this is why it is so exciting to be part of this knowing of these frequencies. And I encourage you to connect into reading the frequencies for yourself. This is accessible to everyone. And stopping for a minute and listening to the silence within, and connecting to the frequencies that are present and allowing them to inform you. So, what is essential for us? And I love encouragement. We all need encouragement. So I love encouragement in this space of sharing these frequency intels with all of us. And kindness is essential to maintain gyroscopic balance while we're in this path of shifting paradigms and balancing in the chaos of transmutation of the species operating system. That is what is truly happening. The human species operating system is being upgraded. And think of when you have to upgrade your computer operating system. There's a wobble, there's an uncertainty. Is the information still going to be there that I still require to utilize this beautiful genius of the personal computer? And that little moment of rebalancing your awareness to the knowing that of course it will be, because it supports my true becoming, creating from the I know this to be true. And so when we have that awareness of coming through the portal of self-kindness, being kind to ourselves when the critic wants to chime in, when the naysayer wants to chime in, when the critical parent part of us wants to chime in, when the old programs and operating systems that we onboarded from our youth, from our childhood, from our field of awareness around us that we took on as the program, the rote program that we have learned to be human in this lifetime through, we're shifting that. And so in this space of complete and utter kindness and gentleness with ourselves as we move through these wobbles, when things get a little challenging, when holy fire comes up in us and we are facing a part of us, or part of our shadow, or part of our program that is no longer serving us, coming to this awareness with the beginner's mind and the willingness to not know how. So when we enter into that space of shift and change that feels challenging or feels new, coming to that by saying, I don't know how to do this, that gives permission to your beautiful team of light, your entourage of light, your creator being support team, your spirit tutors and technicians that are working with you in the holographic field to help you move into your God self realized in physical form, gives them permission to come in and support you with the knowledge, awareness, and frequency to help you move through those challenges, through those conundrums in the most graceful and grace-filled way possible. So that activates your monad genius guidance system through your personality mind, along with the shifts in consciousness that are happening individually in our personal matrix. This is how we walk through the wobble with elegant grace and reverence for ourselves, the small self going through this. And while we're shifting into our true self, our higher self, our super conscious self, being the one living the life, where we're offboarding and deconstructing and deleting the old programs that are no longer serving us. And so I want to invite all of us to be in this beautiful space of a kindness sanctuary moving forward, and to remember to place ourselves into that beautiful temple of kindness and compassion in each now moment, especially when we're walking through places in our awareness that feel challenging or difficult, and have us moving through things that in the intention of moving into our true selves, moving through those tunnels of unawareness where we don't know. So being really gentle and kind with ourselves. And one other piece that really I feel will be so supportive for all of us is to do a recent past review of our own greatness. So I want to invite all of us into this space of mining what we have accomplished, and collecting our successes, our eminence, our evolution, and celebrating our distinctive awareness and saturating ourselves in gratitude for our audacity, gratitude for our self-liberation, gratitude for the challenges that we faced and walked through them instead of turning and believing the illusory fears that can come up and try to derail us out of our old program, simply trying to keep us safe, but safe never got us anywhere, right? And so celebrating our greatest successes in each now moment by doing this like 3-year past life review. What have I accomplished in the past 3 years? What have I faced and moved through? How have I shifted and changed in these times of uncertainty, these times of not knowing, and these moving into joy and celebration of how we become? Because as we celebrate our greatness, it amplifies more of that into our fields. So this is the most important work that we can do to harness the power of our potentials in the universal domain. So here we are in this beautiful frequency, and I invite all of us to saturate in our own greatness, in the celebration of who we are in this now moment, and focus our attention on what we have accomplished and move into this new moon complex in the Aries field and access these new stargates and the knowledge that it is awakening and activating in our channels, in our chakra systems, and into our lived experience, so we can access these new potentials and create from them. Can you feel the frequency that has been generated by this field that we are all in as we listen to this transmission, this download of support for us in this coming time frame that we're moving into, in this coming week, in this coming now moment of potentials? living in this frequency. So if these frequency intels are supportive for you, I encourage you to share them with your beloveds, to listen to them in groups. That will amplify the field. We really are being encouraged to work more in group consciousness. Even if that is inviting in your team of light from the galactic field and sitting in the frequency of your energetic tribe and listening to this frequency intel, I encourage all of us to utilize this information, this intelligence, to create the new reality and to align with this golden age of humanity that we're moving into. Thank you so much for listening. I love hearing how these frequency intels are landing for you, how they're impacting you. And the more that we can like, share, and utilize these frequency intels, the more powerfully they're going to be delivered to us. That was one message that came through loud and clear for us today, is the more that we utilize these frequency intel transmissions, the more that the creator beings are going to give us to work with. And so please, please share these, utilize the frequency intel. And I love hearing from you. I am so grateful to be able to channel and transmit these frequencies. It is my greatest joy and fulfillment to share this information with all of you. I think that's everything that wants to be shared. I love you infinitely, abundantly, and celebrate your unique divine soul essence as it is created by the 0 point field, our cosmic best friend. And I celebrate your stepping into your fullest potential, as we all are. I love you and encourage your audacious authenticity in each now moment. All right. Mwah.